to the committee, Representative Hassan. The chair will move that House File 1898 be laid over for possible inclusion in the HHS Finance Omnibus Bill. And members, this is a bill that also had a thorough hearing in the Policy Committee. So just a brief orientation to what we're doing here and what the request is would be great. And I don't see a fiscal note on this one, but maybe we'll get to that. So, welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. This is my first time in this committee, and I brought some treats.
Those healthy treats?
Thank you.
Madam Chair, those healthy treats that we
Yeah, I hope so.
Today we have House File 1898 relating to health, creating public health awareness campaign on the dangers of skin lightening. Skin lightening creams are used widely in the world, and the dangers of skin lightening creams in the U.S. I think mercury has been removed mostly in the 70s, but any product that's coming from outside of the U.S., which is heavily used in the African communities, Asian communities, as well as some of the Latino communities, contain high levels of mercury, levels that aren't safe for anyone to use, and anyone, especially anybody who is child, in the child rearing age, because that could create, liver damage, kidney damage, skin damage, as well as some cardiovascular issues. I'm not an expert on this, so I have some testifiers with me, and I know in the interest of time will be very brief.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to the committee. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Amira Adawi. I'm a public health practitioner and director of Beautywell project. I have been working on this issue for the last 8 years. It's like the Representative Hassan said, it's skin lightening practice is highly prevalent here in the U.S. and around the world. Especially in Minnesota, we have a lot of communities of color that practice skin lightening. Women are using multiple products that contain mercury and other toxic chemicals. Today in this bill, we're only talking about mercury, but they also use topical steroids, which over time of usage that can be toxic, and also hydroquinone, which is considered toxic chemical. It was banned in the European countries and Canada, but it's available in the U.S. You can find that from Walgreens and Walmart. And so these women are not getting education right now from local health departments, from their clinics, and just like how education of lead is available in clinics, these education services are not available to these women. Women are using during pregnancies and breastfeeding, and that impacts their health and the child development of their kids. So overall, it's a huge public health issue. It needs to be established as a public health issue in our state. And so this bill will help raise awareness and potentially decrease this practice. And it's so much embedded in the culture that we need to do a lot of investment. So please support this bill, and thank you for your time.
All right, thank you very much for your testimony. And there's another testifier?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Thank you for this chance to present today. My name is Kathy Raleigh, and I'm an epidemiologist with the Minnesota Department of Health. I work on the Environmental Public Health Tracking and Biomonitoring Program. We work on projects that test chemicals in people in different communities across the state. And the information that we receive from these tests, we use to promote public health actions to reduce these chemical exposures. Today, I'll discuss our recent study that looked at mercury exposure and the use of skin lightening products. The study is called MinFEAT, or Minnesota Family Environmental Exposure Tracking. We measured 3 heavy metals in Twin Cities women and babies. We partnered with clinics in the Twin Cities, and we included Asian, East African, Latina, and white women. All women gave informed consent for us to test their urine and a small amount of their baby's cord blood. So what is the concern with mercury in skin lightening products? We know that it can affect the nervous system, it can damage the kidneys, and cause pain and rashes. We're particularly concerned about any exposure by developing babies, pregnant women, and children because these are sensitive populations. Mercury in these products can't be seen, felt, smelled, or tasted, and it usually is not listed on the label. They are not legal for sale in the U.S., but we know these products are being used. So in a short summary for the findings, we found for the skin lightening products that women in the study who said that they had ever used products, they had more mercury in their urine. And in addition, 9 women had very high levels of mercury in their urine. These women received follow-up to help find and reduce the exposure. This included offering a home visit to check for mercury, and we found that using skin lightening products was the main reason for these elevated cases. The home visits included a handheld mercury analyzer and found that these products were putting mercury into the air that the whole family was breathing. So in one case, just after taking the lid off the jar, it caused air levels to max out the machine, and this cream was stored in the bedroom where children slept. So we can share with you a formal copy of our community report that we're sending out to the participants in the study this week, and we hope these results can help take action to protect women and children. Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you very much for your testimony. And so, members, the bill does not have a fiscal note because it's a blank appropriation, and I think it's kind of, it's a grant that is scalable, I understand, but I just wanted to ask the author about that or the testifier.
Madam Chair, we don't have a fiscal note ready, and it's a $500,000 a year. It's a grant that goes to Department of Health.
So I guess my question to you, Representative Hassan, is it 500,000 or nothing? Or is there some, is it this something where the more you have, the more you can do, but you could get started with less? Ms. Adaway?
I'll let, Madam Chair, I'll let Amira answer that.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, members, the department sent physical note to the Senate, so I don't know if the department is here to talk about the physical note, but they sent a physical note indicating all of these fees to the Senate. So I don't know if they sent to the House.
Okay, well, okay. Okay, well, thank you. I guess, yeah, all right. Maybe, Mr. Berg, could you just speak to that?
Madam Chair, members, I mean, in the nature of this is grants to an outside entity, so, it could be done at a different amount.
Okay, but at least we know the request is 500,000.
Yeah, anything will be helpful. We just want to address this issue.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone else who'd like to testify on House File 1898? Do members have questions or comments? All right. I'm not seeing any, and I just want to thank you, Representative Hassan. I think this is a very important issue, and Ms. Adaway bringing it to our attention and working on this, and obviously it's very compelling what you've just presented and what we heard in policy as well. So thank you very much for that. House File 1898 is laid over for possible inclusion in the HHS Omnibus Bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.